Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Farm, thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Got something nice for you today. I'm going to ask the question, right thinkers. Do you know where true happiness comes from? I do. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to reach your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to my be true. So we asked the question, do you know where true happiness comes from? I told you I did, so now I'm going to break it down. So when I get done, hopefully you will too, if you didn't know. So let's go. In reality, right thinkers, happiness does not, again, happiness does not and cannot come from objects, things that can be acquired, or from activities that are performed, or from people outside of you. So, knowing all that, hearing all that, you still don't know where happiness comes from? It can only come from within. Where can happiness come from? Only within. Not from, only within. So if you're trying to accumulate things and stuff to make you happy, don't waste your time. Get better at understanding that. And they always say, why the wise man died broke? Because money wasn't his object to get. He wanted to teach. As a wise man, you give information, you give knowledge, that's all. Even, watch this, even actions that seem to be pleasurable in life cannot be considered as a source of happiness. Why? From a philosophical point of view, because all activities are, like everything else in this physical world, relative. This means that all activities is pleasurable for one, that's pleasurable for one, and painful for another. Again, back to that balance. The same activity is desirable to the same person at the same times and not at others. This means what? That such happiness is inconsistency. If you're happy with things that are going because you're doing this, you're doing that, that's fine, but that's not true happiness. You're just being rewarded for whatever you're doing. Big paycheck, the results for what you're doing, that's fine, and that's cool. But that's not, again, true happiness. And that happiness is what? Inconsistent. What you mean? And therefore, it's illusory. It ain't real. Also, watch this. All forms of physical pleasures are fleeting. Meaning, once you get it, once you do it, that's it. Once you attain it, once you get it, pretty much that's it. That's not happiness. Okay? Understand that. Get out of here. And, what's this? All those things that you attain, that you get, experience you have, are all fleeting. Why? They do not fulfill the mind for long. Temporary gratification. Never good. Why? Because now this leads to the realization, if you're thinking, It is not the activity itself that holds the happiness, no, but it's the individual who doer who is performing said action and assigning a social value to it. It's only important to you. Your beliefs are only important to you. That's why I don't share mine with you. Why? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about yours. I'm pretty sure you feel the same way about mine. That's why. So you can save your belief. So therefore, if it was learned that going out to a party is supposed to be fun. I remember my party, that's the way, for young people, that's the way of socializing. We didn't have all this stuff, so we had to go meet at the club or, go get our dance on, whatever you're going to do. So it was always a social event, and that was cool. And for those who didn't, it was corny, all that good stuff. But society, again, the masses, at a certain point, I'm with the masses. That's when I was with party, that was my thing. We start on Thursday and go to Sunday. And then what? That activity, which was fun like every day, yeah. But what? It will be pursued, what? As a source of happiness. If you told me I couldn't go on Saturday night, I couldn't go out, man, I'd lose my mind. So yeah, I'm a full, I remember them days. Well, I just want to go out. I got to go party. It's time to go. Okay? And that was a way of life for young people. Okay? That was our thing. But here, watch this. The action is performed in what? In pursuit of what? Desired results. Again, you're doing it for a reason. Okay, I'm chasing girls and at the same time making money, a whole bunch of stuff going on. But that's what you did. Okay, but the action is the form of what? Happiness. You're happy, yeah, doing, yeah. However, again, there are several negative psychological factors which arise that will not allow true happiness. And what's that? It won't allow true happiness to manifest. It won't allow you to manifest. Why? Because the first is that the relentless pursuit of what? Actions. Gotta go. Always chasing that next high, that adrenaline that want to get you to feel good. Okay, the next party, the next gathering, the next whatever. Okay, that's why. And it renders the mind restless and agitated. What you mean? This prevents inner peace. You keep saying from entering what? Your mind. Why? And the second one, wait 1 second. The second one is that if the desired, here you go, activity, you're looking to go party, hang out, is not possible, you start freaking out. There will be depression, animosity in your mind. You just can't handle it. Been there, done that too. I'm not just what they talking about. You try to stop me from partying, man, we about to fight. If the activity is throttled by some outside force, meaning that something or someone prevented you from partying or achieving your object to party or having that activity you saw as a source of happiness, what happened? You developed anger towards that person. Sure did. Moving on, I won't get personal, but been there, yeah, I remember that real vividly. And you develop anger toward that person or the circumstance, which is okay, but when it's personal, yeah. But if by chance you succeed in achieving your object to party and do your thing, you hard, you become what? Elated, you happy, yeah, that's it, yeah, right? But again, not so fast, my friend, and this will just cause what? Greed and craving to develop in the mind. Why? Because you want to do it all the time. You will want to experience more and more of the object or the activity, like getting high. When you smoke that pipe, when you get that blast, all you want to do, another one. It won't happen. That's the concept. Okay, chasing the dragon. But like anything, if it's good, you want more of it. There's no balance when you get greedy, okay? And this makes for what? An agitated and distracted mindset. You only want what you want. And if it make you happy, make you feel good, you really want it. And if somebody stop it, it's going to be problems. But when you are not able, watch this, when you are not able to once again achieve your objective or make your activity at any particular time, what happened? Now you will become depressed and disappointed or frustrated in order. Watch this. And under these conditions, a constant dependence on what? outside activities. You got to do something. You got to go somewhere. You got to be with somebody. Of worldly objects will develop in your mind, and now, that will not allow you to reach true peace and contentment. That's what prevents that. Okay? Getting over, hanging out, getting over, got to be, nah, trust me. Even though it is what? Illogical to what? To pursue worldly activities that what? Will eventually cause you pain in life. But what? People are constantly lining up and acting against their own interests out of what? Ignorance, as they engage in what? Actions in the effort to gain happiness. Chasing the proverbial carrot again. And while in reality, what happened? They are enhancing the probability of what? Encountering pain later on. Why? For every egoistic pleasure, for everything, I keep telling you, you reap what you sow. Every time you swindle and will and deal and get your way, oh, you're going to get a visit. Why? You're going to get what you deserve. After you made that decision to do what you did, oh, there's repercussions. Watch this. So, for every egoistic pleasure of the flesh or the mind, there is an equal and measure of pain. When you fought pleasure in doing what you did, this is going to equal that pleasure with pain. That's called getting what you deserve. And if what you did was right and good, you would be blessed. See the difference? But watch this. This is why you got to find it within yourself. Watch this. And there is an equal measure of pain, joy and pain, that must be experienced. No exceptions. As John Henry Clark would tell you. And later, watch this. This is another one. People often act and shortly regret what they have done. Again, not thinking right. Monday morning quarterbacking is doing something wrong or doing something that you realize is wrong after you've done it. It don't serve you no good then, trust me. And sometimes people know even at the time of doing the wrong actions that they are wrong. Fully aware. Hands down, no. Okay. And watch this. And yet, they are unable to stop themselves. Well, he couldn't. I did. That's why I'm here. Okay? And this is because, watch this. When the mind is controlled by the physical desire, aka your lower nature, full of expectations, the intellect, now the light of reason and willpower are what? Clouded. They become dull. Why? One is then controlled. At this point, you're controlled by what? The ego self, your lower self. That's not good. However, when the mind is controlled by a purified intellect, an enlightened being, a right thinker, okay, someone who knows himself, spiritually enlightened, what happens? Then it is not possible. With knowledge of self, it is not possible to be led astray due to what? The fantasies and the illusions of the mind about the world, which engenders what? Irrational desires of the flesh. Once you raise your lower nature conscious past that nonsense, it's a whole different world. And watch this. When the individual is guided by the intellect, this head, not that head, we got two of them, understand that. Only right actions. Ding, 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 ding. That's my area right here. When you reach this level of spiritual enlightenment, understanding yourself, only right actions can be performed. Why? No matter what negative ideas will arise in your mind or situations you have, I'm going to do what's right. As my pastor told me, you can't wallow in the mud with the pig and claim not to be a pig. So I won't engage in certain things now, that negative behavior. He said, I'm not going to let somebody take me to hell with them. So I'm not going to engage. I love that philosophy, and that's what they're saying right here. He got it from his perspective. We had ours, and it's still the same concept. I ain't going to follow with that. Now, when the evil or the negative ideas arise in the mind, such a person can be what? Deluded into negative actions. If you're weak-minded, if you're ignorant of yourself, you are going to be a victim of what? Your ego. He's going to take advantage of you. And when negative actions, which lead to what? Future, Pain and disappointments, sorrow, hurt, are what now perform and experience. So now, then unhappiness cannot exist. Wait a minute. And when negative actions, which lead to the future pain, this one, okay, now are not performed. When it's not performed, then unhappiness. Right now, I cannot be unhappy in life. Why? And nothing out here gonna make me unhappy with the peace I have inside. That's why. Watch this. No matter what the situation is, then unhappiness cannot exist. What do you mean? Thus, a person who lives, here we go, my best part, according to the teachings of right thing philosophy of righteousness and action, aka Mayat, lives a life of restless, perpetual peace and happiness in the present. In the now, right now, I'm happy as can be. My man Sally Google said, I'm blissed out. I ain't had nothing, ain't did nothing. I'm blissed out. That's the concept. I got my sisters in Christ. They stay blissed out. Why? Because they happy with themselves. That's why. And they carry it well. When you see somebody, their mannerisms, the way they talk, you can tell they know who they are. Okay, that's why I call them blessed out. My sisters, I love that. And spiritual people don't run around, hallelujah, all that nonsense. No, they carry and conduct themselves and let you see who they really are. That's the best part about it. They don't talk about it, they be about it. And this implies what? That means you performing actions without what? Desires for something in return, or have expectations for the future and results, so they would be prosperous for you of those actions, and you strive to only do good to humanity in service, selfish service of who? Maya, that's my God, to discover your inner satisfaction. When you do good, you feel good. You help people better themselves, you feel good. That's the best. There's no price for that. So understand that if I can help somebody be better, that's what I'm doing. That's my purpose. Again, I do what I do for you. Let me wrap this up. Again, I appreciate you. The true peace and inner fulfillment will never come through pursuit, again, of actions. When there is an expectation and desire of the fruits of certain actions based on what? Egoistic notions, and more importantly, ignorance. I just did a lesson about ignorance and ego. That's a bad combination. And it's always been, haven't changed yet. Watch this. So now the belief in objects and worldly activities as sources of happiness is now therefore seen as a state known as, you ready? Spiritual ignorance. If your love and desire for pleasures of the flesh, objects in the world, you are spiritually ignorant. Moving on, wrapping it up. Wherein that individual is caught up in the what? In the illusions, in the fantasies, in the fanciful notions of the ignorant-minded people. And there's a lot of that going on. I'm just doing my part the best I could to help them get out of that nonsense. However, here we go, wrapping it up. Happiness and peace can arise what? Spontaneously when there is an attitude of detachment, again, not caring about the world, and dispassion, not getting emotional toward objects and situations in life. It works, trust me. Oh yeah, and if actions are performed, here we go, with the idea of discovering what? Peace within, and is based on the understanding of the philosophy that outlined above, and for the sake of betterment, again, of persons and society, then these actions will have the effect of what? You ready? Purifying the heart of every individual who practices it. How about that? The negative desires and expectations will now what? Dwindle away. Why? Because the inner fulfillment and awareness of fulfillment in the present moment will increase, and there what? There will be a greater and greater self-discovery of what? Peace, where? Within oneself. A discovery of what the true stable, the discovery of what is true, stable, and changes. That's the truth. Okay? That's Maya. Within oneself. You know thyself. And guess what? As opposed, when you understand that, you do that, but opposed to the mind and of the world, such are constantly things of the world that what? constantly changing and unpredictable. So what you want is peace of mind, knowing thyself, and all the material stuff in the world ain't a big deal. I said I was going to wrap it up. I'm going to take a quick lesson and throw one in here for you. The purpose of life, right quick. What is the purpose? What's the true purpose of life, right quick? What is the purpose of life? In order to tread a true and beneficial path in life, what it is necessary to understand what is good in life and worth pursuing, as opposed to what is not true or worth. We just got been talking about that. Not worth pursuing. Okay, things that of the world. The philosophy provides insight. That's my goal as a right thinker. Wisdom, teachings, and it related to this important issue needs to be carefully studied and diligently reflected upon until what? Until the message is understood clearly by every individual mind. The purpose of human, this is a commission proverb, the purpose of human life is to achieve what? A state of consciousness. It don't say a religious state. It don't say a male or female state. It's a state of consciousness. That means we all have it. So we all have the same opportunities. That's free will. Conscious apart from what? The bodily concerns. I just gave a lesson about happiness. I'm trying to keep the two connected so you can see how it is. And moving on. Men and women are to become what? Rich and famous. Nope. Nope. Men and women are to become godlike. How can I do that? Through a life of virtue, okay? Cultivation of the spirit through what? Scientific knowledge, practice when daily, and the bodily discipline. And what happens? Salvation is freeing of the soul from what? The bodily fetters of egoistic ignorance of oneself to raise it to know thyself, becoming a God. How? Through knowledge of self and practicing and getting wisdom through daily routine, controlling the forces of the cosmos instead of being a slave to them. Some of us go through life just haphazardly waiting for something to happen, thinking God's going to do it. No, you're in control. You're the driver of you. So move on. Let's go. And the purpose of life, again, the goal is to subduing what? Your lower nature, a.k.a. set your ego. How? Through awakening of your higher self. Honey? Ending what? The cycle of rebirth, a.k.a. and dwelling with the netters who direct the control of the great planes. Meaning, once you wake up and realize who you are, you don't come back. No more rebirth, no more reincarnations. That's the goal. And what's this? If you decide to adopt the sheet-top-netted right thing philosophy, and if you met, let's say, a Christian person on the road, how will you respond to them? Perhaps you have friends and family members who are Christians, we all do, Muslims, etc., and they may ask you, what are you doing? You may answer, I am practicing right thinking philosophy or African religion. I am practicing Neterianism. Okay. Suppose they now ask you, well, what is your goal in Neterianism? Well, do not tell them. Listen again. Do not tell them you are trying to become God or goddess. Don't waste your time. Why? Getting into that kind of conflict, because that's what's going to create. Why? Because in their view as Christians, only Jesus can do. Excuse me. Yeah, like nose. All right. Only Christians can do that. But in ancient African religion, everybody can do that. And not in the same future time, but not in some future time, but when? Right now. In your lifetime. That's the goal. That's the idea. I'm almost on. Got a few more things to go here. I see the clock. I got to get this in because I think this ties in, like I said. Now, what we at down here? One acts, again, on earth, are like a dream. Well, I dream, nah, I'm woke. Okay, but they telling you a concept and welcome safe and sound to whoever arises in the West, meaning those who woke up, became conscious. The harpists tell us we cannot linger on earth. The Bible, after the Bible, what? Basic instruction, what? Before leaving earth. So they knew that too. Excuse me. in the acronym for basic instruction for leaving Earth, because they knew from ancients that the body stays to the earth, spirit goes up. So that's considered the West. And the Harpers tell you, watch this, we cannot linger, but we must plan for what? Our departure. Right there. They wasn't obsessed with death. They knew death was imminent, so they planned for what? For the afterlife after death. And that our acts on earth, watch this, we must plan a departure by what? Our acts on earth are here like a dream. If you consider that the Harper song is saying, watch this, it is like when you have a dream, when you wake up out of sleep, your dream, when you're sleeping, your dream appears to be real while you're in it. But when you wake up from it in the morning, then you realize what? That it wasn't real. What happens when you go to sleep? When you go to sleep, you believe that the dream world is real. And this waking world is what? Unreal. Uh-oh. The Native Americans say when you go to sleep, that's the real world. Here, you just going through the motions. And which is the reality. Watch this. Then, so do you see the high philosophy that is going on here? It means that there is something within you that even goes beyond the changing realms of what? Consciousness, the waking, and even the dream state. We know that. They've been telling you that. That's the third concept. That's Amun, the hidden one. That's where you go to. When they're deep sleep, you go to meet him. If you live right, that's where you're going to go to for eternity. But watch it. Wrap it up. Now wrap it up. How are you to discover Amun, or that state that's beyond delusions? How are you to elevate yourself to transcend this mortal finite existence? With knowledge. Accomplishing this is what right thinking philosophy is all about. Is referred to as what? You ready? Becoming God and goddesses. The question then becomes, how is this to be achieved? Good. It is wonderful for me to tell you what right thinking, aka She Taught Netta, is all about. I do it daily. But it is also important that you know how this is achieved for yourself. I am sure that you have heard of the saying, many are called, but only a few are chosen. That road, just the many, just the few. Get the concept? Okay, wrapping it up. And for those who are studying this now, as opposed to what? The millions of people who are out there in the world, you are reading this or listening to this because now you are personally ready to what? Pursue some new path to life. You are ready to now discover some insight that will lead you to the answers to your personal questions, and most likely as to what the true purpose of life and for your source of your pain in life is ignorance. I am mainly just confirming what you already know anyway within yourself. I'm just here because you have to gain the wisdom and inside you, which is inside you. I'm just here to help you tap into it. I'm the instructor to get you the GPS, to get you on your way to find what you need out of life, your purpose for yourself. That's my lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, maybe 100 miles a day. So I never know that right thinkers have passed away. See you in the afterlife.